What's up guys, BeefyTanks here, bringing you a pair of games in the Tortoise that I think you'll really enjoy. One in particular showing what patience can do for you in the long run of a game, and the other showing you how much being patient with taking ammo to your face, like directly to your face, can do. The second one is actually a defensive, miracle, and the first one is a pretty cool ambush by one of the slowest vehicles in the game. So let's go ahead and get started, move up to cover, and let the game begin. So end up moving to this cover, and Tom 82R32 is pretty much our only scout that's going middle, which really isn't a problem because the view range of the WZ-132 is just enough to cover the entire opening area here. The only problem is that my view range is not. As you can see, this little yellow circle that surrounds my tank at the outermost ring, that is my overall view distance. That's how far I can see. The white line represents how far the maximum capability of sight can be with this tank, which all tanks are standard, 445 meters. The green ring shows my current spotting range. So that's going to be the green ring there. If it matches the white line or goes beyond it, it will never go beyond it because 445 meters is the limit. However, if it does fill up that circle and you continue to add into spotting, it will make it easier for you to see targets within that range. Take a nice shot right to the front of that T-29, and I just lock on because I know the velocity, there it is, the velocity of the armor-piercing rounds are far great enough to catch up with the T-29 while it's in reverse, because it can move very, very slowly in reverse. So anyway, that's pretty much my only kill in the entire game until the very end. So what we're going to do is skip ahead 20 seconds, another 20 seconds, where I spotted a T-91, T-92, I believe, as it was running around like a mouse. And I end up taking a shot on it on the way up that hill and miss. And he's able to get away, but not until the artillery takes him out right at the end. So let's go ahead and speed up and get across this swamp here, because I literally face no one in my entire trip. So, but yeah, anyway, the view distance, the green line, will show how far your tank is currently able to spot enemies from, how far away you can spot them. So that means that the enemy has to be within that circle. Now, if your green line exceeds the white line, it'll never visually exceed it. It'll stay right on top of the white line. However, if you increase your spotting statistic, that will only increase the chance you will see camouflaged enemies within that circle. I cannot believe that missed that target. None of the rear armor was hit. None of the side armor was hit. I call BS on that one. So anyway, I'm climbing up this hill with my total of 20 kilometers per hour. Keep in mind. We have to keep in mind this is kilometers an hour. So I'm probably going 13, 14 miles an hour. A fast runner can easily outdo this tank. It's horrible. But then again, it's one of the most armored tank destroyers in the game, so I kind of like it. And it has, when you upgrade the gun, it's ridiculous. The penetration's excellent. The alpha's over 350. Like, you can pound away at stuff. If it's lightly armored, it does like 500, 550. Let's take a look at this. The armor piercing does 400 damage alpha with 259 penetration. The premium round does 326 millimeters of penetration at 400. But the HE hits for 515. With an average penetration of about 120 millimeters, which isn't a problem when you're fighting, say, scout tanks, light tanks. It's not a problem when you know where to aim on medium tanks. It's not a problem to know where to aim on glass cannon tank destroyers or artillery. And in this case, artillery will definitely be my target. As you can see, all three show up at once. The 155-50 is currently under attack by the T-44, actually by an artillery, and it ends up only damaging it. The Tiger P is about to be eliminated with the FE-3805 and the British one. It just showed up on screen. I can't believe I'm such a noob. Where is it? Oh, it's the 14-2. Okay, the Russian one. Well, I'll make that one disappear. And then I'll turn to the French one, make the French one disappear, and then I'm going to turn over here to the British one, make the British one disappear, because I was bored. And as you can see, the HE damage that it outputs, 515, is way more than the health of all three of those vehicles. So I was able to penetrate because they're artillery, lightly armored, and I dealt a buttload of damage to the target. So anyway, that was pretty cool. 4 kills, 3 of them right at the end. Let me speed it up here because I end up going after this T-30, but he's eliminated before I'm able to get to him. So that pretty much closes down the game. But this is only the first one. I'm waiting for you to be able to see the second one that's going to come up soon. I forgot I did that. Iron Duke, but, you know, you didn't need to do the... Anyway. Alright, let's take a look at the cards. Even though the game wasn't that eventful, I did end up getting 5 bonds. I got a fighter and a reaper. Actually, the reaper is for destroying... I think I got it in one of my Scorpion G games a couple of days ago, but let me explain anyway. Reaper pretty much means that you put to sleep 3 tanks with 3 rounds, one after the other. So there was no damage dealing without a kill. It was 3 rounds, 3 kills. I also ended up getting a Demitru's medal for taking out 3 or more artillery in a single game, and I gotta tell you, that's pretty rare these days, considering it's very rare for 3 artillery to be in the same match now. Back when I started playing, you'd be able to get up to 5 in the same match, which was a little bit overpowered and a little crazy, especially since sometimes you'll get 5, the enemy will get 4, or you'll get 2 and they'll get 5. It's just overpowered and it bounces back and forth. The more artillery an enemy team has now, because we've been nerfed to hell, actually the worse they are as a team. So it is a big deal for them to get a whole lot less than we do. I'd rather have, less artillery on our team and it be a very good artillery player. But that's the way it's going, and I hope it ends up being that way. But regardless, 1 shot to each, the FV3805, SU-14-2, and the Lorraine 155-50, all were 1-shot kills. The T-29 I ended up getting twice with a kill in the end. Module damage to the 155-50, that's strange. Oh well, kind of one-shotted him, but alright. If we look at the team score, 1,089 damage dealt with 4 kills, 571 experience. Notice that I collected pretty much all that damage right at the end with single shots. I jumped 1,000 damage in the last 25 seconds of the game. Actually, the last 20 seconds of the game. But if you see, I fired 8 shots, 5 hit, 5 penetrated for a total damage of 1,000. Total profit, 25,127. It does get crazier. Check this out. This is a definite showing of thick armor in high places. So here's another game here on Windstorm. I'm in my Tortoise. I'm not rolling with anybody that time, and it was kind of a shame. Nobody was actually able to play for the past couple of days. I'm trying to get everybody on, but you can only do so much, I know. But this is actually called Winter in the game files, so be sure to check out Winter for any of your Windstorm games. I'm not really sure why Wargaming ends up translating or changing the name of. Sometimes both names are in English, or both names are in Russian, and it doesn't really make any sense. I'd wish they would just standardize the name of the map in the replay file to the map in question in-game. But anyway, let's go ahead and speed this up a bit, because it will be one hell of a climb for this Tortoise to make. Approaching the river. Really terrible ice break physics. Let's watch that. Yeah. And then crunch that instantly. Yeah. Okay, I can't wait till March. But anyway, continue moving. And I hope the ice breaks up really cool looking on the March update. I'd really like that. So far, a couple of tanks have been spotted, and my view distance is well beyond what I'm going to need in order to pretty much engage all these targets. Actually, my spotting distance is pretty impressive, considering. Alright, now that we're at single speed, and as you can see, that's how long it took me to climb that hill. The torque is amazing in this tank, but it's very heavy. So the Ag Panther bounces once, twice, Charioteer bounces, T-25-2 bounces. I end up pounding him for more than 50% of his health. And Ag Panther bounces again. Tiger 1, that shot should have hit, but I saw it barely go over. Actually, if we can slow it down a bit, just so you can see here. Oh, this is the beginning of the engagement, but that'll work too, because we get to see this bit. Right into his turret ring. That was a beautiful shot. Now, as soon as the Tiger shows up, I'm going to slow it down, but the Ag Panther's still bouncing. Here he is. Okay. Slow it down. Now, if you'll see the round, see it barely go over his freaking spoiler? Oh, that sucked. But anyway, Charioteer bounces yet again. And I end up firing way ahead of the Tiger 1, and it ends up landing right in the center of his armor, as I should have the first time. But the T-25 too, as soon as I reload, I'm holding down my mouse button. And wham! But keep in mind that the Jagdpanther is still bouncing off me and has now totaled over 1,000 damage. 1240 damage now. 1415 damage now. The M12 hits me for 174 damage and stuns my crew, and that's right when the Panther shows up and I take a shot immediately. Sinks it into his front armor and he backs up. Yeah, that's right. Get the fuck out of here. Although I kind of wish I had stuck him around because, or kept him sticking around because he could have just given me more and more and more and more points. I didn't really think about that, but I guess I take my damage where I can get it and I just pound him if I can. So let's speed it up a bit here. Got a Tiger 1 moving up on our team. Now, a T-25 shows up very quickly that ended up moving to the back to try to... Or no, I think it's a Comet that shows up that tried to get on the other side of my spotting. Let's see here. There he is, Charioteer. End up taking a shot directly center mass and it lands way short and hits the ground in front of him. And it's really a shame because that was pretty much my only good shot on target, so I'm glad it was RNG that stopped me. And not just a bad shot. So anyway, I end up actually pivoting my tank destroyer here, and this is a good idea, basically just show new players how to maneuver these non-turreted tank destroyers. What you want to do is make sure that you master your gun arc. Really look at the bottom left of the screen. Uh-oh. Here we go. This is one of the best shots in the game right here. Right as the Pershing exits the mountainside, I take a shot to save the Ferdinand. Barely taking out the Pershing and shooting past the Ferdinand, which is now very grateful of my services. And then, of course, the Tiger ends up backing off as soon as he sees his buddy get shot, which is just perfect enough for our team to close in and take him out. I've got my eyes on this AT-7 because I know that his side armor's nice and squishy. So I'm just sitting here, end up turning toward this object, but he ends up being out of my sight range, well beyond the hill. So I end up moving on, crossing the river. Look at this torque. Look at that torque, buh. Look at that torque, buh. Yeah, buh. Woo! Woo! Anyway. Double. Triple. That's quad. Let's go back down to double and then single, cuz I lock on and fire at this target. End up nailing right at the back of his tank, the 432. Take another shot right at the side armor, and he ends up getting away. Now this SU-100M1, I know that he's within sight distance. I line up and I take a shot. It bounces, and he's able to back up and over the hill. Oh no, he just goes down. Okay. Well, he goes forward and down. Alright, well, you know, whatever. Anyway, I end up moving toward their base. And I believe... Oh yeah, I take a shot at this Jagdpanther, and it lands on the rock directly in front of him, and before I can take another shot, the artillery takes him out. I've got another chance to shoot this SU-100M1, but I'm too busy reloading to shoot him. So I was pretty disappointed there, until the artillery showed up. Now I kept in mind that this lightweight could be a good shot too, but I bounced! It's ridiculous. How can a light tank bounce? This freaking amazing gun, and I have a feeling it was just the angled armor in particular. Oh, we have artillery. Oh, that was nice. So anyway, I think I roll over this bridge to the end of the game. The Charioteer ends up getting taken out. Everyone else does too. Iron Duke, Tortoise, hell yeah. Now, I know this looks super crappy, but these are actually the end cards that I had to get off of worldoftanksreplays.com. That's WOT replays.com in order to actually have an end card, because I ended up not taking screenshots of that ending. I figured that I would just, you know, put it up as a sick clip that I can bounce this much damage or whatever, until it ended up being not much damage. So I needed to show all of the combat in the game to really justify putting it in a video. But anyway, these were the cards for the game. As you can see, I did a whole lot of damage to a whole lot of targets. over 3,200 damage with 1,650 damage blocked. So it wasn't entirely a whole lot, but it was pretty cool when added to the damage dealt. 2 kills. One was artillery, the M12, which is a very long vehicle, and is probably why I ended up getting a hit on something I couldn't see. And the M26 Pershing, of course, that rounded the corner, and I got him right in the side armor. If we take a look at the team score, the Tortoise with 3,233 damage done was only outdone by the Ferdinand, who did 3,264. With 2 kills amongst both of us, it's really a shame I wasn't able to get the Top Gun and High Caliber, both of which were given to the Ferdinand. So I really wish I had gotten one more hit on one target. That damn Jagdpanther, he was dead to rights. I had his side armor. I was shooting right at it. The accuracy of the gun let me down in that one instance, and it hit the rock in front of him. So, you know, disappointments. If we look at the summary, 14 shots fired, 10 hit, 8 penetrated, 3,200 damage, 1,500 from beyond 300 meters, 1,600 damage blocked by armor. Wonderful. The ammo only cost me 14,840 because I got to tell you, the armor-piercing penetration, the armor-penetrating round that is standard for that tier 9 gun on the Tortoise is amazing. There's no need for anything else. 47,055 total profit. So anyway, this has been Beefy Tanks. If you liked what you saw, please click the like button and then click subscribe and the little bell that lets you know when I've posted new videos. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. Join my clan. It's called Beefy's Battalion on World of Tanks Northeast. Or I'm sorry, not Northeast, North America. And of course, you know, hit me up in game if you just want to roll in a platoon. If you're already in a clan that's pretty, you know, settled, let me know. We could just roll together. So anyway, as always, it's been a pleasure. This is Beefy Tanks. Keep it beefy on the battlefield, everybody.